Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Good morning. My name is Chris Hand. We are currently monitoring what is happening up there in the swamp. Robert Hur is testifying. He's basically just telling everybody that Biden is who he thought he was, a doddering old man with bad memory who can't be charged because the jury would find him sympathetic. Right? It's pretty much. Do we have to waste taxpayer dollars for this? No, I'm excited to see what comes out. As this happens, we'll be monitoring it and we'll bring relevant audio to you throughout the day. This is going to be interesting. Hey, Mac, I got a question for you.
Yeah, what's up, man?
How many Van Halen songs can you name off the top of your head?
I got none. I got nothing off the top, man. Nothing off the noggin.
All right.
Why are you gauging the room or?
Well, I just feel like I've been reading the super text line and people are mad at me for not knowing a Van Halen song, so I wanted to shift the heat over to you.
Oh, okay, good. That's great. Yeah, awesome.
His two geezer buddies brought him into a conversation this morning, and Brother Chris got bushwhacked.
And now he's getting ridiculed on the text line. I love it. Yeah, we got 0679 on the Members Nutrition text line. Ask Chris if he knows who Elvis is.
I do.
Dang, yeah, they are coming for you. Now they're going to come for me. That's good.
They're coming for me. For the record, Elvis is a legend.
Of course. I mean, Van Halen is too, Ken, right? Van Halen legends?
Yes, they are rock legends, yes.
Would you put him up in the same breath as Elvis, though?
No.
Gotcha.
Right.
No, I mean, they're rock legends, but Elvis is different.
So Ken Weaver just said Elvis is better than Van Halen, Super Texters.
He's just walking people
He's getting
in.
me back. Brother Hand's bushwhacking me.
0469 said, do they even listen to rock and roll in Canada? Actually, we just listened to the sound of the geese. That's it. The sound of the geese and the drip of maple syrup in the woods.
The drip of
That's it. That's all we got.
Oh.
It's beautiful. So, we have a lot going on today. Robert Hur is testifying. Still waiting to see what happens with Fani. Happens with Fani.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one, man.
When do you think that's going to drop, Ken?
I don't know. It's supposed to be this week, isn't it?
That's what they said.
So we shall see.
We'll see. I don't know. Are you going to hold your breath?
No.
No. It'll probably be like late Friday afternoon if it does drop this week.
I mean, here's the thing. Look at how many. I mean, we're talking about somebody who definitely knows the law and all the ins and outs. I mean, there can be a motion filed that could put this thing off for months. Who knows?
Yeah, I hear you. I don't want to give her too much credit. She did put her dress on backwards. I still can't get over that. That has been my big takeaway from the entire Fani Willis saga. That she put her dress on backwards. That really happened.
like putting a sock on the wrong foot, things like that. Yeah, it's okay. We make mistakes, but
the dress on backwards. I don't even wear a dress, and I know that was a rookie move. Hey, did you hear what's going on in Haiti?
yes.
Barbecue is now in charge.
Barbecue and Debo.
I mean, unbelievable. So the U.S. Southern Command said on Sunday it was obliged to airlift non-essential personnel from the United States Embassy in Haiti, as well as send more troops to the embassy to provide security. Imagine if you were in like the lineup or in the meeting where they're like, okay, we have to figure out who's essential and who's not. I'd be like, dude, I could do this remote. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you be like trying to make the case? Could totally do this remote.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Just put me down for work from home. The European Union and Germany also withdrew their embassy personnel because bloody gang violence in Haiti has intensified.
Yeah.
Unreal. The upsurge in gang violence in neighborhoods near the U.S. Embassy and airport has led to the State Department to proceed with the departure of additional agents. A U.S. diplomatic spokesperson told AFP on Sunday, a France press, whatever they are. The airlift of this personnel into and out of the embassy is consistent with our standard practice for embassy security augmentation worldwide, and no Haitians were on board the military aircraft. Seems like an odd thing to tag onto the end there.
Yeah.
Our embassy remains focused on advancing U.S. government efforts to support the Haitian people, including mobilizing support for the Haitian National Police, expediting the deployment of United Nations authorized multinational security support mission, and accelerating a peaceful transition of power via free and fair elections, the U.S. military statement said. The statement also added that the U.S. Department of Defense remained postured to provide robust enabling support for the MSS, including planning assistance, information sharing, airlift, communications, and medical support. And the MSS remains largely theoretical in nature, though. The State Department said on Saturday that the Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, discussed the Haiti crisis with President William Ruto of Kenya, who has promised to spearhead a multinational peacekeeping force with 1,000 Kenyan police officers. Ruto's intervention plan has been stalled by Kenyan court rulings that said he lacks the constitutional authority to deploy Kenyan police onto foreign soil. The European Union announced Monday that they evacuated everybody from Haiti due to the dramatic deterioration of the security situation. European Commission spokesman Peter Stano said EU staffers were relocated from Haiti's capital of Port-au-Prince to a safer location outside of the country where they will continue their work. He said, "We, of course, assessing the situation, will be adjusting the way we operate as the security situation develops." Germany pulled their people from Haiti over the weekend. CNN reported that an evacuation operation carrying German and EU staff was forced to turn down requests to help evacuate others on Sunday. As all of this is breaking down in Haiti, I'm just thinking about our own southern border and realizing we're going to have a rush of Haitian illegal aliens. Are we not? That's got to be the next step. So Haiti is in absolute turmoil, and the AP said that the police there are having a hard time securing government buildings because terrified citizens are taking refuge in them. Crazy. One woman who did not give her name for safety reasons said, "We're the ones who pay taxes. We need to have shelter." And that's why the citizens are taking over the government buildings. They said the gangs came with big guns. We have no guns. We cannot defend ourselves. All of us, the children, are suffering. I mean, you have to feel bad for the actual humanitarian situation on the ground in Haiti. But as all of this is going on, a gang member by the name of Barbecue seems to be the one in charge. Crazy. Don't worry, though. The United States has a plan. They're going to throw money at it. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken on Monday announced $100 million to finance that deployment of a multinational force to Haiti, following a meeting with Caribbean leaders in Jamaica to halt the country's violent crisis. He also announced another $33 million in humanitarian aid. So let's start keeping a tally on how much money we're sending to Haiti, okay? We're at $133 million. He says that they're going to try to meet the needs of the Haitian people, but the presidential college that they created to help do this has not identified the needs of the Haitian people. And it's an absolute mess. It's an absolute mess. The joint proposal has the backing of CARICOM, which is a regional trade bloc that held Monday's urgent meeting. And the guy in charge of that said, I think we could all agree Haiti is on the brink of disaster. Brink of disaster. Meanwhile, the Jamaican prime minister, he said that the meeting was a work in progress, and he said it's clear Haiti is now at a tipping point. We are deeply distressed that it is already too late for too many who have lost far too much at the hands of criminal gangs. And the prime minister, Ariel Henry, who is in charge of Haiti and is facing calls to resign or agree to a transitional council, he didn't even go to that meeting. He's been locked out of his own country while traveling abroad because of this violence from the gangs, which have overrun pretty much all of Haiti's capital and closed down its international airports. He's hiding in Puerto Rico. And while he's in Puerto Rico, he says he's taking steps to return to Haiti once feasible, according to a brief statement from the U.S. Territory's Department of State. Nobody's in control in Haiti. Nobody. And I can see it now. We're going to have a surge at the border of Haitian illegal aliens who are claiming asylum. One voice speaking up amongst the chaos, El Salvador's Nayib Bukele. He said on the chaos in Haiti, "We can fix it." He declared that on Sunday, that they can fix the ongoing political turmoil and rampant gang violence in Haiti, equating the images of brutality from the island nation to the state of affairs in his home country before he implemented his own law enforcement crackdown. Now, Bukele did not specify who the we in his sentence was, whether he meant his own government or the international community in general, but he commented that experts declared similar violence in El Salvador intrinsic and to the country, and that the eradication of organized criminal violence from the country had proven them wrong. So, I don't know. Isn't his plan just to arrest everyone? Isn't that what he did in El Salvador? I mean, it's a good plan, but good luck. Bukele said, El Salvador suffered decades of near total control of society by organized criminal gangs, most prominently MS-13 and the 18th Street Gang. But he took office in 2019, greatly expanded police authority, and in 2022 enacted a state of exception that allowed police to detain tens of thousands of gang suspects. And he also built mega prisons to house these suspects and is processing the criminals in mass trials to facilitate their removal from society. So that's probably his plan. Mega prisons and arrest everyone. I mean, when you see the pictures of what's happening on the ground in Haiti, it's probably a solid plan. Now, when Bukele did that in El Salvador, it alarmed outside observers who feared that regular citizens would see their constitutional rights eroded as well. But no reports have surfaced from El Salvador of the imprisoning of political dissidents or silencing opposition. And the country's most prominent opposition newspaper conceded in 2023 that gangs do not exist in the country as they used to, and it allowed citizens to enact basic liberties such as visiting public parks in peace and establishing small businesses without having to pay the gangs extortion fees. So I don't know, maybe there is something to what Bukele did in El Salvador, and maybe it could translate to Haiti. But Haiti, I mean, they have suffered years upon years of organized crime, violence, extreme poverty, political corruption, and more. And it's been spiraling out of control since right around 2021, when assassins shot then President Moise dead in his home, which was part of a plot in which his wife was indicted in February. Haiti has not had a president since. The country is an absolute mess. An absolute mess. And I fear that we're going to see that mess start trickling across our southern border. And we're in the hole now, $133 million to Haiti. I fear that is going to rise substantially as the months and, God forbid, years tick on. Because that's what we do with these kind of things, right? We throw money at it. It's 9:21 on Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
An airline industry whistleblower found dead in a parking lot. Details at 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
There was a man waving his arms saying, "Nothing to see here, move along."
Yeah.
Right in front of it. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Robert Hur is testifying right now on the classified document scandal with Joe Biden. Listen, do you want to hear how it started? He said, "My team and I conducted a thorough independent investigation. We identified evidence that the president willfully retained classified materials after the end of his vice presidency when he was a private citizen. This evidence included an audio recorded conversation during which Mr. Biden and his ghostwriter that he had told his ghostwriter that he had just found all the classified stuff downstairs." Just found the classified stuff in the basement. When Mr. Biden said this, he was a private citizen speaking to his ghostwriter in his private rental home in Virginia. We also identified other recorded conversations during which Mr. Biden read classified information aloud to his ghostwriter. The same guy waving his arms. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. This is what it sounds like while Jim Jordan is speaking to Robert Hur just moments ago.
Special Counsel Robert Hur. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from the state of Wisconsin for the purpose of leading us in the pledge.
Well, they do the Pledge of Allegiance. Let me fast forward. Here we go.
Raskin will be permitted to participate in today's and other materials from both classified and unclassified sources. But there's more. Joe Biden not only kept information he wasn't allowed to keep, and he not only failed to secure that information properly, he also shared it with people who weren't allowed to see it. Shared that information with his ghostwriter. And remember, this is information that only individuals with a security clearance are supposed to see. Mr. Hur told us on page 200 of his report that it's the kind of information that, quote, risk serious damage to America's national security.
Oh, and a lot of that information Joe Biden walked out of a skiff with. The information should have never left the skiff, but that didn't stop Joe Biden. He didn't seem to mind at all. Fascinating stuff. As more audio becomes available, we'll have it for you right here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. In the meantime, the latest headlines from Ken Weaver.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories starting to warm up nicely now. We're going to get into the 70s today. Now, we're still tracking the potential for some severe weather by the end of the week. Just a slight risk at this time. We'll tell you about it during the full forecast in 2 minutes. A Boeing whistleblower is dead. Reports say 62-year-old John Burnett was found dead just days after testifying against the company, raising a number of concerns about Boeing's production standards. Barnett had worked for Boeing for 32 years before retiring. The Charleston County Coroner's Office in South Carolina says it determined Barnett died March 9th of what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The coroner said he was found dead in his truck in a hotel parking lot. Airbnb says it's banning indoor cameras at all of its listed properties around the world. The company saying the goal is to create new, clear rules to provide both hosts and guests with greater clarity about what to expect on the app. Airbnb has faced concerns about privacy on its properties for years. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Hey, it's Chris Hand for my friends here at membersnutrition.com. You've heard me talking about the Youthful Cleanse by Daily Defense, but Members Nutrition is actually bringing a multitude of affordable and quality supplements to you at a fraction of normal retail cost. You can probably hear it in my voice that I've been a little under the weather, so I've been focusing more on the immune supplements right now. And all of these supplements from membersnutrition.com are made right here in the USA. They're not made overseas in a land far, far away. They're made in our own backyard. Now, no matter what type of supplement you're in the market for, immunity supplements like myself, maybe weight loss or detox like the Daily Defense Youthful Cleanse, or just general men's health, women's health, or relaxation supplements, membersnutrition.com has it all. And now they are so proud of their supplements and excited about helping you. They're offering an extra 50% off your purchase. Yep, you heard me right. On the website right now, membersnutrition.com, you can get an extra 50% off the purchase. And these are at already discounted prices. Now, you don't even need a code. The discount is going to be automatically applied at checkout. All you have to do is go find the supplements that you need, that you like, and put them in your cart and check out. Do it right now. Membersnutrition.com.
Mr. Hur produced a 345-page report, but in the end, it boils down to a few key facts. Joe Biden kept classified information. Joe Biden failed to properly secure classified information. And Joe Biden shared classified information with people he wasn't supposed to. Joe Biden broke the law. But because he's a forgetful old man who would appear sympathetic to a jury, Mr. Hur chose not to bring charges.
That was Jim Jordan moments ago as Robert Hur is testifying on the Biden classified documents investigation. The ticker on CNN right now says, Hur, I didn't disparage the president unfairly in my report. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. I think it's important to remind everyone that, Biden criticized the special counsel for bringing up his son's death during the interview, except, it was actually Biden who introduced that subject.
President Biden became heated, you'll remember, responding to the special counsel's assertion that he could not remember within several years when his son Beau died. Last week, the president criticized her for asking him about it.
How in the hell dare he raise that? Frankly, when I was asked the question, I thought to myself, it wasn't any of their damn business.
But tonight, NBC News has learned that Hur never asked that question, according to two people familiar with the interview last fall. They say it was the president, not Hur or his team, who first introduced Beau Biden's death. The sources say the president got the date, May 30th, correct, but not the year.
I think it's actually amazing that I have blanked on a lot of this stuff. Like, I remember it happening in real time, but it seems like with this Biden administration, scandals pop up at such a furious pace that it's hard to catalog all of them. Do you know what I mean? This wasn't that long ago. For a normal president, a scandal like this would stick around. But Joe Biden is no normal president. And we have one scandal after another, after another, after another. Am I the only one that's like, oh, yeah, that's right? He flipped out about that at the podium. And then we found out that he was the one that brought it up. It's amazing the speed at which this stuff is coming in on Joe Biden. It blows my mind. And then while, guys like me who, I'm paid to keep track of this kind of thing and report on it and shed light on it, I blank on it because it's like we're on to the next scandal. He's butchering Laken Riley's name at the State of the Union. He's apologizing for calling an illegal alien illegal. But even worse than all of that is the Democrats still cover for this guy. Jerry Nadler's up there a moment ago saying, what Joe did, guys, it's not that bad.
I believe, as is his habit, that President Biden probably committed a verbal slip or two during the interview.
A verbal slip or two during the interview.
And I'm not sure any of that matters.
Well, it doesn't matter to Democrats and the vote blue no matter who crowd, right? That's who it's not going to matter to. It definitely doesn't matter to Jerry Nadler.
Because when the interview was over, Mr. Hur completely exonerated President Biden.
He didn't completely exonerate him. He said he's not going to charge him because a jury wouldn't find him guilty because he's a sympathetic old man with a poor memory. Right? I have that one right. I think I cataloged that correctly. A sympathetic old man with a poor memory. As this is developing with her testifying on the Biden classified documents investigation, we're going to stay up to date on that for you, and we're going to have relevant audio as it becomes available. But I think it's important. I think it's important to also show what's happening on the flip side, okay? As this is happening with Joe Biden, and we know that he's reading classified documents as a private citizen to a ghostwriter, and he's like, just found the classified docs in the basement. Let's dig in and see what we got. And he's rubbing his hands. He's all excited. Donald Trump is still being roasted for having classified documents under lock and key and Secret Service protection at Mar-a-Lago. And Biden had his in drawers in a garage and in dilapidated boxes. Right? I think we all know that. And because of the way Donald Trump handled his classified documents, Adam Schiff, you know Pencil Neck. Everybody knows. Of
course.
Everybody knows him. He's basically going on a media tour saying that the intelligence community is going to be sabotaging Trump by withholding intelligence and dumbing down his daily briefing. So when you become the presidential nominee, you are entitled to daily briefings to get you up to speed, in the event that you get the job, right? That's just how it goes. Schiff is going around and he's hitting the media tours saying that the intelligence community is going to sabotage Trump by withholding intelligence and dumbing down the daily briefing. Because, of course, can't trust Orange Man. This is Schiff with Jen Psaki.
My guess is what they will do is they will give him a briefing, but they will make sure that nothing in that briefing would be a problem in terms of sources and methods. They will have to assume anything they tell him, he'll shoot off his mouth about, and he may shoot it off to the Russian ambassador. He may shoot it off to anybody else.
Oh, he may shoot it off to the Russian ambassador. Russia! Ah! Ah! It's like, dude, more Russia from this guy. It's always Russia with this guy. Does he know that it doesn't work anymore? No, he probably doesn't know. Somebody should tell him.
And he may shoot it off to the Russian ambassador. He may shoot it off to anybody else walking down the street, or he may show photos on his phone, or who knows what.
If you walk by him on the street, there's a chance that Trump could look at you and say, do you want to see what's in my daily intelligence brief? Who knows? He could say, hey, you want to see a picture on my phone? Who knows? It's laughable, but the actual meat behind this has some scary truth to it, because it's very plausible that the intelligence community will sabotage Trump by withholding intelligence and dumbing down his daily briefings over the summer. That is entirely plausible. Sometimes, you know me, I laugh to keep from crying, right? But this is exactly in line with what we've seen from the intelligence community since, 2015. 9 years now. This is nothing new. And Schiff echoed the same things while he was on Meet the Press as well.
Congressman, let me ask you about this development this weekend. U.S. intelligence officials are planning to provide briefings for Donald Trump.
Okay. First of all, that's not a development. That happens anytime someone becomes a presidential nominee. Again, to get you up to speed with world events and intelligence, so that way you're prepped in the event you get the gig. This is nothing new. Mr. Schiff, about these developments that Trump is going to get classified briefings. It's procedure. This is procedure.
If he officially secures the nomination, despite the fact that he's facing 40 felony charges for his handling of classified documents. As the former chair of the House Intelligence Committee, do you think it's appropriate for him to receive intelligence briefings?
I'll stop it there. What an absolutely loaded question. He's facing 40 felony charges for mishandling classified documents. The same charges that Robert Hur is testifying now that Biden could have been facing, but Robert Hur decided that he would be sympathetic to a jury and they wouldn't find him guilty because he's an elderly old man with memory issues. It is infuriating, the two tiers of justice here.
Well, that is the practice, but we've never had a situation where one of the candidates for president has been so criminally negligent when it comes to handling, if not worse, when it comes to handling classified information. So I have to hope, and knowing the intelligence community as I do, that they will dumb down the briefing for Donald Trump. That is, they will give him no more information than absolutely necessary, nothing that would reveal sources or methods, because we can't trust that he will do the right thing with that information. He's been so reckless. So, yes, it does concern me. It is part of a long tradition. They will be wary of what they share with him, and they should.
Oh, and they should. And they should. Isn't this the same guy that said Russia hacked our election and Trump was colluding with Russia when there was no evidence of this? How is he still on the Intelligence Committee? Should we believe anything Schiff says? Honestly, what you just heard there is propaganda for left-wing lunatics. Pure, plain and simple. That is propaganda for left-wing lunatics. I want to play it one more time, and I won't pause it this time because I want you to hear it in its entirety, and I want you to realize that this is being gobbled up by so many people out there, and this is the kind of stuff that is actually dangerous to our republic.
Congressman, let me ask you about this development this weekend. U.S. intelligence officials are planning to provide briefings for Donald Trump if he officially secures the nomination, despite the fact that he's facing 40 felony charges for his handling of classified documents. As the former chair of the House Intelligence Committee, do you think it's appropriate for him to receive intelligence briefings?
Okay, I know I said I wasn't gonna stop it, but I just want to let you know I'm actually angry. I'm actually angry. Okay.
Well, that is the practice, but we've never had a situation where one of the candidates for president has been so criminally negligent when it comes to handling, if not worse, when it comes to handling classified information. So I have to hope, and knowing the intelligence community as I do, that they will dumb down the briefing for Donald Trump. That is, they will give him no more information than absolutely necessary, nothing that would reveal sources or methods, because we can't trust that he will do the right thing with that information. He's been so reckless. So, yes, it does concern me. It is part of a long tradition. They will be wary of what they share with him, and they should.
And they should. And they should. Have I mentioned, Kirsten, Orange Man bad? Nobody's ever been so reckless with classified documents before. Having them under lock and key and Secret Service protection. Nobody's ever done anything like, I don't know, leave them in a garage in a rotted out box in a house that you share with your crackhead son who has ties to foreign business entities all over the globe. We've never had anybody as reckless as Orange Man, says Russia, Adam Schiff. This is infuriating. And the two tiers of justice is on full display. It's on full display. How can you look at this and see anything else but politically motivated charges on one hand for Donald Trump and a politically motivated hall pass on the other side for Joe Biden? It's 9:51 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. As more info and audio is coming out of this Robert Hur testifying on the Biden classified docs investigation, we'll have it for you right here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
A Boeing whistleblower is dead. Details at 10 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Ken Weaver. It is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I made the comment a minute ago about Adam Schiff. I said, how is he still on the Intelligence Committee? Totally spaced. He was removed as part of a punishment via Kevin McCarthy.
Well, it makes sense why you're asking then. Because he shouldn't be.
He's not. So also in a rare occurrence, Kevin McCarthy did something pretty cool. So there's that too. It's been a
Let
weird
history
day.
not forget.
I think that goes to my point what I was saying earlier. This presidency under Joe Biden has been one scandal after another. How do you keep up with everything that's going on?
Yeah,
How?
I feel like we don't even remember this.
And by the way, my Corvette's in a locked garage.
I don't.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
I don't remember that. Also, he was probably lying. That garage was wide open.
It was wide.
That was wide open. Are you kidding? There was probably Chinese intelligence agents scurrying all over there. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted. That's how I picture it.
Come on, man.
That's just how I picture it. Larry, you're next on Super Talk. What's going on, Larry?
Yeah, I'm a retired naval officer, intelligence.
Hey, thanks for your service, man.
Defense Intelligence Agency. You're welcome. But this is crazy what they're saying. I mean, the guy was POTUS before. I mean, President Trump knows all the sources and all the methods.
Yep.
He already knows them. There's nothing new here. They're just going after him, and they think we're stupid to think that he doesn't already know them. And he protected everybody. Nobody died when he was in office. Nobody died after he got out of office. And nothing was revealed to any of our enemies during that time. This is just, I can't even believe they do this to us. I really can't.
And it blows
they must think we're idiots.
They do think we're idiots first and foremost. I think that's very clear. But they said he might share it with anybody. You could be walking down the street and he might share it with you. We can't trust him. Like, are you kidding?
Yeah, I can't even believe it. All my friends, all the people that I served with at this point in time, just look at the intelligence community like a joke. We're embarrassed.
It's sad what it's turned into. It really is.
Well, thanks for taking my call. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you listening, Larry. You know, and again, Trump's documents were under lock and key and under Secret Service protection. Biden, on the other hand, we have audio coming out again. You probably know this, but Robert Hur is testifying about the classified docs investigation, and this is what the line of questioning sounds like. Oh,
were found at the Penn Biden Center?
That's correct.
They were found in President Biden's garage?
In Wilmington, Delaware, yes.
And in his basement den?
Also in the same home, yes.
In his main floor office?
Correct.
And his third floor den?
Correct.
At the University of Delaware?
Correct.
And at the Biden Institute?
Correct.
I wonder how many of those locations had Secret Service protection. I'm guessing it's a goose egg. It's 10:01 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast in 2 minutes. Tell you about what could be a stormy ending to the week. Right now in our nation's capital, the special counsel who investigated President Biden's classified documents case is on Capitol Hill testifying before the House Judiciary Committee. Robert Hur has been accused by Democrats of inserting an unnecessary opinion in his report about President Biden's memory and mental acuity, which is what California Congressman Jerry Nadler took issue with.
Mr. Hur, in your written testimony, you say that you found some evidence that the president might have willfully retained classified materials at the end of his vice presidency, correct?
Correct.
But ultimately, you concluded that you could not prove that charge in a court of law. In your words, you, quote, did not identify evidence that rose to the level of proof beyond a reasonable doubt, close quote, correct?
That was my judgment.
And that is what led to her saying that Biden is a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory in defending his judgment call not to press charges against the president. A whistleblower who raised concerns about Boeing's production standards is dead. Multiple reports say 62-year-old John Barnett found dead in his pickup in a hotel parking lot on March 9th in South Carolina, just days after testifying against the company. A coroner's report in South Carolina says it was from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Barnett had been giving evidence in a whistleblower lawsuit against Boeing, including claims that workers under pressure were deliberately putting substandard parts on planes, saying in some cases parts had even been brought back from scrap bins and fitted to planes to prevent delays. Is your car spying on you? A new report finds a major data brokers helping insurance companies track your behavior.
The New York Times report that data clearinghouse LexisNexis is working with insurance companies, and their collaboration could drive your insurance rates higher. GM's OnStar service has a smart driver feature which tracks driver habits as a way to improve safety. GM confirmed to the Times that it shares select insights with LexisNexis and another data broker, but says the program is optional to customers and that drivers can unenroll at any time.
That is the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Me and Mac were complaining about cybersecurity training.
Work emails.
I don't even want to work email.
Nah, I'm good, man.
I said to Mac, if I negotiate my next training, I'm going to say I don't want to do these trainings anymore.
Yeah, you negotiate your next contract.
I'll take a pay cut. And then,
just text me.
Yeah, and then you can just take away my email. Just don't give me a company email. Just text me.
Just shoot me a text.
And then I don't have to work. I don't have to worry.
Promise, no phishing, no scams.
Everybody's good. Sorry, I know it's a little inside baseball, but this is what me and Mac do.
Exactly.
Off the air. Like, what is going on? I mean, don't we have bigger stuff to worry about? I'm trying to save the republic here. You know what I mean? I'm in the trenches every day.
I'm on a mission here, and you're sending me
trying to save
phishing
America, and I have to get bogged down with phishing email training.
That's so good.
All right. I swear, though, one more warning email, and I'll probably do it.
Just give me one more. One more, guys.
Just one more reminder. On the Members Nutrition Super Text line, Todd is here, and he's late as usual, he says.
Todd.
Show starts at 9, Todd. Miss a little, you miss a lot.
It's true.
But you can always get the show podcasted, Todd. We're available on Apple, Spotify, and the other ones.
All the other ones.
Are there other ones?
No, I don't think so.
Perfect. So I got them all.
That's it.
Why don't they send me a training email for this?
Yeah, exactly.
Why don't they do that?
I think they expect you to be trained on those ones.
Oh, I feel like that would be more helpful.
It would.
You can listen to us anywhere as well, also with the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, or you can download our own app, which is awesome, 997WTN.com for the links, or just, be an adult and go to your app store.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, we trust you to do the right thing.
Yeah, or watch us on TV.
Yep.
There's too many ways.
7363 on the Members Nutrition text line said, the only one fishing is our own IT department.
Bingo.
That's it.
I honestly, one time, I didn't even do it on purpose. Like, I know it's going to sound like, oh, my dog ate my homework.
Yeah.
Like, I have fat fingers. Hit the link on my phone. And it's like, boom, busted.
Yeah, it's like, sorry, man.
We got you, you idiot. You have to do an extra training. So.
That happened to me, too.
It's like, all right.
Yeah, Allison came up to me. She was like, hey, you've clicked on too many of these phishing things, so you're going to have to
like,
do an
you
extra.
guys are sending them.
I'm like, my work email, it's during the day. I don't know. I'm like, oh, very important. Okay, well, from work, I should check this.
Nobody else is phishing me.
Yeah, no one else is doing this.
I'm getting catfished by my own job.
But it was funny because I was like, I'm probably the youngest one on this list, right? And she was like, I was surprised to see your name. I was like, okay, I'll step up.
We were all pretty disappointed, to be perfectly honest. We were pretty disappointed in you, Mac. Oh, my gosh. 5637, talking about the Robert Hur special counsel testifying right now on Biden classified docs investigation. 5637 on the Members Nutrition text line. He says, what a flipping circus. Listening to it now, all the files marked classified are Biden's. Personal notes. What a joke. We have all the evidence we need. Question, when are these blank Republicans going to actually do something with it beyond the pointless talk? I don't know. We're still waiting. I feel like the skeleton in the rocking chair waiting for Republicans to do something.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like that?
So it.
I feel like that sometimes. Also, he didn't say blank.
He did not say blank. That was very, very swift of you.
I had to edit that on the fly.
It was nice.
The best I could come up with
was really curious to hear how you were going to.
Was blank. So
it's like, what's he going to say?
This is why we need our uncensored podcast.
That's right. That's exactly right.
0397 also says we need the uncensored podcast.
Love it.
Bingo.
People need it. 15 hours of us is not enough a week.
Yeah, give me more.
That's what the people want. We're clamoring for it as well, just for the record. So this is all happening on at the Capitol, and it doesn't look good for Biden. You know, did you know he had all this classified documents? Of course you did. Everybody knew. The classified documents are literally everywhere.
Mr. Hur, classified documents were found at the Penn Biden Center?
That's correct.
They were found in President Biden's garage?
In Wilmington, Delaware, yes.
And in his basement den?
Also in the same home, yes.
In his main floor office?
Correct.
And his third floor den?
Correct.
At the University of Delaware?
Correct.
And at the Biden Institute?
Correct.
Mr.
They were everywhere. It's like he's listing off locations in a game of Clue. You know what I mean? Unreal. Meanwhile, they're going to dumb down intelligence briefings for Trump because he can't be trusted. What a backwards, crazy world we live in. Also, Did you hear that the White House they're walking back the apology that Joe Biden gave for calling the illegal alien illegal?
Jeez.
Just saying listen to the statement. He never said the words "I apologize." That's what they're saying. He never said the words "I apologize." It's like, oh, I'm sorry. I was under the impression that this actually sounded quite like an apology.
You used the word illegal when talking about the man who allegedly killed Laken Riley.
An undocumented person. And I shouldn't have used illegal. It's undocumented.
Yeah, they're walking that back. He never said, "I apologize." Unbelievable. And if that doesn't infuriate you enough, the border crisis continues, and another victim has been claimed. This time, it's a 12-year-old Missouri boy. Yep, 12 years old. 12 years old from Missouri. He died after an illegal alien hit his family car going over 70 miles per hour in the wrong lane. Court documents showed that he was here illegally from Venezuela. The boy's name is Travis Wolf. Travis Wolf, another senseless victim to Biden's border crisis. Now, it was just a day before his 12th birthday. This is so sad. Day before his 12th birthday, December 20th, 2023. 5 days before Christmas, right? He shares a birthday with my mom. 5 days before Christmas. This then 11-year-old boy, Travis Wolf, was a passenger in his parents' car. An illegal alien from Venezuela drove the wrong way at 70 miles per hour, causing a head-on collision. Travis was rushed to the Children's Hospital and put on life support. His parents were taken to Mercy Hospital with broken wrists, broken ribs, broken sternum. Travis didn't wake up. He finally passed away on March 6th. Travis Wolf, a 12-year-old who has lost his life to an illegal alien because of the wide open border from Joe Biden. You can support the family of Travis if that's something you feel like you want to do. You can go to my Twitter page and find his GoFundMe. I've retweeted it. It's there at Chris Hand on Air, and they're getting close to their goal. So give a little, give a lot, whatever you can do. But it's just so sad. It seems like every day we hear more and more coming out of the border because of Joe and his lack of willingness to do anything. And he's unwilling to do anything. A reporter asked him the other day, when is a border executive action coming?
President, when is a border executive action coming? An executive action on the border.
Count on the border action happening by itself. The passing it.
The Congress.
He said, I'm counting on the border action to happen by itself. Did you catch that? I know there's airplanes in the background, but he says, I'm counting on the border action to happen by itself.
An executive action on the border.
Count on the border action happening by itself.
It's going to happen by itself. This is who's running the White House.
That's how most great movements start, right? They just
by themselves.
By themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any revolution or any huge change in government or an economy, that's just happens.
It's just one of those things.
Yep. Can't explain it.
We could wake up tomorrow and it could be fixed.
Yep. That's exactly right. Or it could be way worse, but it will just happen.
By itself. I mean,
wow.
Are you kidding me? Now, at the same time, while this well-meaning old man with memory issues wants the border action to happen by itself, he also wants $13 billion from Congress for illegal aliens in sanctuary cities. His staffers are asking Congress for more than $13 billion in taxpayer funds to help move many more what they call economic migrants into homes and workplaces in American communities. Much of this money is going to be used to bail out sanctuary cities that, are displacing Americans by welcoming illegal aliens who, end up being lower wage workers, apartment sharing renters, taxpayer aided consumers. They move people out of all these jobs and apartments, and they price them out of this stuff. That's who it's going to aid. Now, the 2020 funding is being requested by two pro-migration cabinet members, Antony Blinken and Alejandro Mayorkas. Their plans are outlined in the 2025 budget request to Congress, which was released on Monday, and the funding request will likely be approved unless the GOP wins a House and Senate majority in November. So just tack that onto things that we're voting to stop. Billions of dollars for illegal aliens in sanctuary cities if Joe Biden wins. That's what they want. That's the plan. And don't forget, the plan is to displace you and your voting power. Because as Americans flee these hellhole blue cities, illegal aliens are moving in. And thanks to our census, we don't have to ask if you're a citizen on the census, but population dictates seats, which equals representation. They are importing illegal aliens for power. Do not get it confused. Don't get it confused. On March 9th, during that MSNBC interview where, Joe Biden didn't apologize, according to the White House, for calling Laken Riley's killer illegal, he also told MSNBC that he wants a more orderly flow of Southern migrants into jobs around the nation because they're the reason our economy is growing. But, 5 million Americans at least have fallen out or been pushed out of the workforce because of the crime, the drugs, and other failures. And polls show that a majority of Americans want less legal and illegal migration. It is infuriating. It's infuriating. Majority of Americans think that the illegal aliens coming across our border has reached a critical threat.
Well, a majority of Americans, 55%, now say the large number of immigrants entering the U.S. illegally is a critical threat. That's up 8 points from a year ago. And it's a record high for this Gallup polling.
Yeah, and more Americans are waking up to this threat every single day. But you know where the real threat is? It's on Pennsylvania Avenue in D.C. Make no mistake about that. It's 1021 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Well, I'll let you hear what's going on in our nation's capital with the House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan and his back and forth with the special counsel who investigated President Biden's classified documents case. And is your car spying on you? What's it doing to your insurance rates? We'll tell you at 10:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
First the birds, now the cars.
Yes, sir.
Not a fan. Looking forward to your newscast, Ken. It is 10:25 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Find me on Twitter, True Social, Instagram. All of them are the same. At Chris Hand on air. Not the same content, but the same handle. Different memes in different places. It's mostly memes. Full disclosure. There's a lot going on in this special counsel hearing where Special Counsel Robert Hur is testifying on the Biden classified docs. Matt Gaetz is saying something right now, but just a moment ago, Democrat Rep. Jamie Raskin got time to say what he wanted to say.
It's not, this, my friends, this is a memory test. But it's not a memory test for President Biden. It's a memory test for all of America. Do we remember fascism?
We're living through it.
Do we remember Nazism?
I feel like the Democrats are doing that.
Do you remember communism and totalitarianism?
Oh, they're definitely doing that. That one's definitely happening.
Have we completely forgotten the sacrifices of our parents and grandparents in prior generations?
The left has. The left, they've forgotten that, yeah.
While we play pin the tail on the donkey in this wild goose chase, all of these silly games, Donald Trump entertains authoritarian hustler Viktor Orban at Mar-a-Lago for the weekend, and Orban comes out to declare that if we indeed sleepwalk into another Trump presidency, Trump will, quote, not give a single penny to Ukraine. That's what all of this is about. It's about trying to pull the wool over the eyes of America.
Oh, I thought this was about the Biden classified documents. It's about Ukraine. Does that make more sense or less sense?
Makes sense.
I was wondering when Trump would come up. I didn't think it would be this soon. I definitely would have put money on Jamie Raskin being the guy to do it, though. Right? Like, Jamie Raskin would be, he's obviously one of the ones to be like, but did I mention Orange Man bad?
Bread and butter.
It's easy. It's light work for Jamie Raskin. Luckily, we have Republicans on the other side who are actually, bringing the real argument to the table, like Jim Jordan.
What did that ghostwriter do with the information Joe Biden shared with him on his laptop? What did he do after you were named special counsel?
Chairman, if you're referring to the audio recordings that Mr. Zwanitzer created of his conversations with
exactly
Mr. Biden,
what I'm referring to.
He slid, if I remember correctly, he slid those files into his recycle bin on his computer.
Tried to destroy the evidence, didn't he?
Correct.
Oh. I don't know. Does our phishing email training say that that's the right way to destroy evidence? Did he consult Hillary Clinton before destroying that evidence? She did a bang up job, if I recall correctly, with the bleach bit, right, and the emails. Unbelievable. This was interesting. Nadler actually asked Robert Hur if he believed Joe Biden lied to him. And I think Nadler was going to trying to get one of those mic drop moments. You know what I mean? Didn't work out too well.
At any point in your investigation, did you have any reason to believe that President Biden lied to you?
I do address in my report one response that the president gave to a question that we had posed to him that we deemed to be not credible.
Oh, so short answer, yes. There was an occasion that I believe he lied to me. We deemed it to be not credible. That's a nice way of saying, yes, the president lied. As more audio and media becomes available from these hearings, we'll have it for you right here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Here's Ken Weaver with the latest headlines.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We are tracking the potential for strong, even damaging storms at the end of the week. Full forecast in 2 minutes. Right now in our nation's capital, the special counsel who investigated President Biden's classified documents case testifying to the House Judiciary Committee. And it seems that both Republicans and Democrats a little upset with Robert Hur. Republicans upset because he chose not to recommend charges against President Biden for having those classified documents. And Democrats upset that Hur chose to categorize the president as a sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory who also willfully retained and discussed that material. Is your car spying on you? Morgan Norwood reports on a report claiming a major data broker's helping insurance companies track driver behavior.
Driver beware. Your car could be recording how you drive, your speed, or any hard braking, and then transmitting that data to an information clearinghouse. The New York Times reports that data clearinghouse, LexisNexis, is working with insurance companies, and their collaboration could drive your insurance rates higher.
That data collection uncovered by drivers using General Motors OnStar service, which is traditionally used to make an emergency call. GM confirming the practice to the New York Times, adding the program is optional for drivers. And no more looking. Airbnb homes and apartments had already banned cameras in private spaces. Now they're banning them everywhere. Cameras are not allowed in Airbnb bathrooms and bedrooms, but they were allowed in common spaces like hallways and kitchens, so long as the renter was told they were there. But after next month, those will also be banned. The only exception will be video doorbells and devices to monitor noise levels. Again, so long as the renter is made aware of them. Airbnb says most cameras have already been removed and that this rule will affect very few homeowners. That's the latest news. Weather is next, and I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
I did not share classified information. I did not share it. With your ghostwriter? With my ghostwriter, I did not. Guarantee you did not.
We also identified other recorded conversations during which Mr. Biden read classified information aloud to his ghostwriter.
Oh, isn't that weird? Joe Biden just lying. I don't know if he's ever done that before. Weird. Reading some of your feedback on the members nutrition text line at 615-737-9986. 4755 said, Chris Hand is a poser. He doesn't even know Van Halen.
Yeah, come on, man.
It's funny, 4755, when we read your text during the break, I said to Mac, I said we should come back to a Van Halen song. And then neither one of us could think of one. Dave in Hendersonville, you're next on Super Talk. What's up, Dave?
Man, you got to be kidding me. You don't know Van Halen?
What? Oh, come on, Dave. Yeah, I thought we had something real to talk about. I don't know who. I'm 35,
well,
Dave.
You know, that I rocked out on that when I was growing up, see? So, I mean, I know you're a lot younger than me, you and Mac, but, you know.
Dave, you hear my bumper music. You know what speed I'm at.
I know, brother, I know. Something that's serious now. You just brought up another child getting killed by an illegal alien.
Sure did.
Immigrant.
Yep, an illegal alien. Travis Wolf.
Yes. And he was driving a vehicle.
Yep.
Why was he driving a vehicle over here illegal?
Exactly. Should have never been driving. Shouldn't have been here in the first place.
Exactly. My point specifically, we've got car lots out there, and you can look on Marketplace and find them that is selling vehicles to illegal immigrants, no license required. If you don't have license, you're not getting insurance. So that means they're buying these vehicles with no insurance, no license. They're driving on the roads. A lot of them have never driven before. They come to the United States, and they have no clue about how to drive.
No, I hear you. And I think that something should be done about that, Dave. I appreciate you kind of expanding on that thought.
I know we got people in the House of Representatives that listen to this show, and if you guys are listening now, you need to bring up a bill. I don't like government overreach, but we are losing American citizens because of this right here.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, just up the street in Kentucky, a guy that listens to this show a lot, you've probably heard him call in, Cedric, his buddy lost their 2-year-old to an illegal alien driving drunk.
Yeah, if they would do something about this, we could stop some of it. But we really going to stop it when President Trump gets back in office and they start rounding them up.
I'm with you, man. I'm looking forward to a mass deportation effort, and optics be damned. That's what needs to be done.
That's right.
Hey, I appreciate your call, Dave.
See you, bud.
Yeah, man. 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. There's a lot going on today. We have Robert Hur testifying on the Biden classified document investigation, which is turning out to be fascinating. I had Ken Weaver pop in my studio here a moment ago saying Matt Gaetz was giving him the business. The business. It seems like Democrats are trying to deflect, and the Republicans are like, so why wasn't Biden charged with a crime? Why not? And special counsel Robert Hur admits that Biden was, in fact, lying when he insisted he did not share classified information with his ghostwriter.
February 8th, the White House. Question, Mr. President, why did you share classified information with your ghostwriter? The President, I did not share classified information. I did not share it. I guarantee I did not. That's not true, is it, Mr. Hur?
That is inconsistent with the findings based on the evidence in my report.
Yeah, so it's a lie. It's just what regular people would say, right? Yeah, all right. So the next one. And all the stuff that was in my home was in filing cabinets that were either locked or able to be locked. That wasn't true either, was it?
That was inconsistent with the findings of our investigation.
Another lie, people might say, right?
Oh, yeah. Regular people would call it a lie, right? Regular folks would. Not special counsel Harry. He says it was just inconsistent with the findings. Unbelievable. My neighbor David's on the phone. Hey, Dave, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. What's going on?
Not a lot, driving to work. Just all the listeners, I am neighbor Dave,
Yeah.
and I can vouch for the validity of Chris Hand. Good dude, good family. What you see is what you get. But I was calling about the immigration stuff. I'm in construction. You know, I've worked shoulder to shoulder with Hispanics for years and years, decade. Great people, love working with them. I couldn't do what I do without them. And the crazy thing is, about the other caller, I'm pretty sure you can get car insurance without a driver's license. I know that you can get a tax ID without being legal because we've had lots of folks that work with us that are on the books, have been paying taxes for decades, and there's no pathway to citizenship for them. Should they be here illegally? No. Does the wall need to happen? Yes. But they're here. They're great people. They're working hard. And there needs to be a path for them. You know, if you pay taxes for a decade, we should welcome them with open arms and it's like, hey, here's your citizenship. You know, here's the pathway to do it.
I hear where you're coming. I hear where you're coming from, but I still think that there needs to be a vetting process. And I think that the issue with the driver's license and that is, you know, you're seeing drunk drivers taking out kids, and that's
100%.
I mean, that's got to end. So I think his point is put some legislation on the books that says you can't buy a vehicle if you don't have car insurance, if you don't have your driver's license. You can't get. What was that?
I don't think we're rallying up a bus. I don't think we're getting a bus together to deport people. So they're here. The majority of them are good folks that are working hard. A lot of them are paying taxes for a decade, and there needs to be some sort of pathway. And I'm conservative, but I'm working with these guys every day, and they're good folks. It's just they're already here. I doubt there's going to be a bus driving around to deport them. It's like, well, I mean, Trump
has said that he's going to do a mass deportation effort, the likes of which have never been seen. I think that would benefit a lot of Americans because, especially in the lower income communities, the lower class, lower income folks they're the ones that are being hurt the most by the illegal immigration.
Yeah. I mean, some of these guys I'm working with, they don't even want to come to work when it's rainy or icy or snowy because they're just trying to stay so under the radar and just work, make a living for their family. But, I mean, I think if you pay taxes for 10 years and you've got a clean record, like, all right, here's your card. Keep paying taxes. Thanks for contributing to society. But there are a lot of them that do need to be, deported, and the wall does need to get built. It's just there's just a lot of good families that are here. So there's a lot of nuance. It's a tricky situation.
There's definitely nuance in the conversation. I can agree with that. Hey, I appreciate you calling in, Dave. Thanks for listening, man.
All right. I'll see you tonight, brother.
All right, later. That's my neighbor.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
His boys play with my boys.
Oh, I love that. That's good.
They'll be wrestling in the front yard.
Heck yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good kids. Tim in Manchester, you're next on Super Talk. What's up, Tim?
Hey, I'm a car salesman. I tell you, you can sell a car all day long and get insurance on it without a driver's license. That's a fact.
So what could be done to what could be done to fix that, Tim?
Real simple. Yeah, it's a real simple situation. Just don't let an insurance company sell a policy without having a driver's license. It's real simple.
So
that means the car dealers will stop selling cars.
How are the insurance companies getting away with that? Because I don't recall any time I've gotten car insurance not being able to send them my driver's license.
Well, there's certain policies out there that does not require a driver's license. I can send you a place in Oklahoma that'll sell you insurance all day long without a driver's license.
Interesting.
Yep, it sure is. It's very interesting.
Do you
I'll
think?
tell you another thing we're forgetting about as well is not Hispanics coming over here. It's a lot of other folks that just sitting on the welfare system.
Oh, 100%. I mean, if we've learned anything from the border, it's that we have Haitians coming over, we have Middle Easterners coming over, we have Chinese coming over, we have Venezuelans, and it's not, they're from everywhere now.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
And
Hey,
I'm not for sure they're workers.
no, I don't know. We can make the argument that a lot of the Hispanic guys that come over are working and working hard.
Yeah,
but I don't know if you can make that argument about the entire group that are coming across the southern border.
I dare say some of them never even touched a hammer or saw, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, fair enough. Hey, I appreciate your call, Tim.
Yes, sir.
All right, Tom in the borough wants to talk car insurance. What's up, Tom?
Hey, it is legal. I mean, I legally bought a car when I was 14 and a half years old. I legally insured it. Now, granted, it cost 3 times to insure it what it cost me to buy the damn car, and it sat in my parents' yard until I got a driver's license. But no, it's perfectly legal.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I hear you. I think the problem that people are having with it is how is an illegal alien without a driver's license, without insurance, buying a car? But yeah,
Well, if that's your question, when I was working in the Smokies, there was a crew of finishers that came up from South Carolina. There was a group of about 10 of them, and 8 of them had the same name, the same Social Security number. They all had driver's licenses from the same state with different pictures. And that was Tennessee, and that was, good God, that was 2002. So tell me how that happened.
crazy. Yeah, I have an idea how that happened.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate your call, Tom.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people on the super text line are laying into my neighbor David. I saw that one coming. Love you, David. But I mean, listen, I think that there needs to be a deportation effort to get rid of the illegal aliens. That needs to happen. I can't stand the fact that people are coming over here and are milking off welfare benefits, and they're taking out American citizens on what seems like a daily basis. I had a texter earlier. Gosh, when was it? Oh, right here, 3188. About, 30 minutes ago, said Uncle Phil Valentine had the statistics 5 to 6 years ago that 13 murders and 13 deaths in car accidents were happening on average every day at the hands of illegals. Now, without having those stats in front of me, I wanted to read the text and also say shout out to Uncle Phil, who is one of the greatest. But you can't deny that I feel like it's a net negative what's happening in this country because of the wide open southern border and the illegal immigration. It's a net negative. When a family's losing a 12-year-old boy because an illegal alien was going the wrong way down the highway at 70 miles per hour in the wrong lane, drunk, that's a net negative. When Lake and Riley can't go out for a jog, that's a net negative. I don't care how much positive you want to argue that illegal aliens are bringing to the country. That's a net negative. These are lives that should have never been lost. I saw a story the other day. There was an illegal alien arrested after allegedly attempting to kidnap a 13-year-old girl in Utah. Attempting to kidnap. Thank God it was stopped. Thank God this illegal alien was arrested. But guys, this could be your kid next. Plain and simple. And I'll let your imagination take you where it wants to take you on what would have happened had he kidnapped that 13-year-old girl. Because chances are it's horrific. Illegal alien from Peru. And we have story like this after story like this after story like this. But Joe Biden will go on stage in New Hampshire giving remarks and tell us America's safe. In fact, it's safer today than when he took office. He literally said this yesterday.
At the same time, America deserves the freedom to be safe from crime. And America is safer today than when I took office.
Mac, I'm going to need you to fact check that during the break. It's 10:51 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
We have an update on the search for the University of Missouri student missing since going down to Lower Broad with friends in Nashville 3 days ago. Also in traffic, we've got a stalled vehicle. It is blocking the second left lane. That's going to be 40 westbound there at Elm Hill Pike Overpass. All the top stories coming up at 11 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Ken Weaver. It is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. So on the TVs in here, we have, the hearing going on with the classified documents investigation, special counsel Herr, and, Tennessee's own Steve Cohen.
Oh, yeah.
At one point during the commercial break, he's questioning Robert Herr. And I looked at Mac and I said, look at this guy. What a clown. He looks like a comic book villain.
He really does.
You know what I mean? And I said, I wonder what insane rhetoric he is spewing.
Oh,
right? Yeah. And so we were trying to guess. We were pretty close, but this is what Steve Cohen sounded like talking to Robert Herr.
Down to them. That's what's important. Not if you can be like on the $64,000 question, assuming it was legit, and answering every single question correctly. That's not what you need to be president. To be president, you need to have values. You need to have an understanding of what values America has and needs to maintain to keep the world safe and peaceful. That's dealing with Ukraine. That's dealing with difficult people like Netanyahu in Israel to try to get something done that's correct. That's what Joe Biden does.
That's what Joe Biden does. I don't know. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
But do you feel like the world is more safe and peaceful under Joe Biden? If I recall correctly, it was the last guy that started no new wars.
Yeah.
And was striking up peace deals all throughout the Middle East. This guy, he's just, funding wars. Both sides at the same time. It's amazing what Joe Biden's doing. Steve Cohen, comic book villain out of Tennessee. And what's with the round glasses? Am I the only one that doesn't like the round glasses? And the half bald thing?
The half bald thing, that sells it, man.
What's up with that?
You could just picture a huge leather chair, cigar. He turns around.
He's like...
You finally made it.
Yeah, he's like the Kingpin in Spider-Man, except less menacing. It's 11:01 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 2 minutes. Tell you about the potential for damaging storms coming this week. Right now in Nashville, Metro Police conducting an active search for a Missouri college student who has gone missing since a trip with friends to Lower Broad 3 days ago. The Tennessean says search and rescue crews launched boats this morning in the search for 22-year-old Riley Strain there in the Cumberland River. He was told to leave Luke Bryan's bar on Friday night, and he hasn't been seen since. Right now in our nation's capital, the special counsel who investigated President Biden's classified documents case is on Capitol Hill testifying before the House Judiciary Committee. Republicans on the panel, like Tom McClintock of California, say that Herr gave Biden special treatment in comparison with former President Trump.
All I have to do when I'm caught taking home classified materials to say, I'm sorry, Mr. Herbert, but I'm getting old. My memory's not so great.
Yeah, Congressman,
This is the doctrine that you've established in our laws now, and it's frightening.
Congressman, my intent is certainly not to establish any sort of doctrine. I had a particular task. I have a particular set of evidence to consider and make a judgment with respect to one particular set of evidence, and that is what I did.
Now, in his report, Herr said that the president should not face charges in the classified documents case, saying that even though the president willfully retained and disclosed classified materials and discussed them, it has not established Mr. Biden's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. A Boeing whistleblower is dead. 62-year-old Boeing retiree John Barnett found dead in his vehicle in a hotel parking lot in South Carolina just a few days after testifying he had concerns about the company's production standards. A coroner has determined Barnett died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And in money news, inflation up 3.2% in February compared to a year ago makes it less likely we're going to get an interest rate cut before summer. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Hey, it's Chris Hand for my friends at the Learn Right Summit. It's coming to Nashville, April 19th and 20th at the JW Marriott downtown. What is this Learn Right Summit? Well, let me tell you. If you're tired of seeing what you're seeing in the public school system and you want to get involved, but you don't really know where to start, this is for you. You're going to be able to empower yourself with knowledge and tools to advocate for your kids' educational needs this year at the Learn Right Summit. So this gathering is basically designed exclusively for parents who share a common vision for elevating our education system, people that want to get involved in the school board, potential candidates, or school board members. You're going to be able to immerse yourself in all of these discussions and collaborative workshops, plus experience thought-provoking panels that range from school safety to transgender ideology being pushed on kids. And there's going to be fantastic speakers there, like Riley Gaines, Chairman Mark Green, Byron Donalds, and more. You're going to be able to engage in open dialogues, exchange ideas, and build alliances that are going to strengthen the foundation of our shared commitment to education excellence. Here's the thing. In this fight, with what we're up against, we cannot do it alone. So one of the biggest things that you're going to get out of the Learn Right Summit is these alliances. We need to organize, and this is a great opportunity for you to organize with other like-minded individuals who are sick and tired of seeing what we're seeing in the public school system. So if you are tired of this and you want to get involved with the Learn Right Summit, it happens April 19th and 20th at the JW Marriott downtown Nashville. You can purchase tickets now, and I'll give you a code for 25% off. But follow along with me because the website is a little bit long. It's leadershipinstitute.org/LearnRight24. I'm going to say it one more time, very slowly for you. leadershipinstitute.org/LearnRight24. And the promo code for 25% off tickets is LearnRight24. One more time, the website, leadershipinstitute.org/LearnRight24. Promo code LearnRight24. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Mac, are you doing the March Madness bracket thing?
I think, yeah. For the work. Yeah.
Yeah. So you
among
can,
our work pool.
And people can get involved with it at
Yes, they can.
997WTN.com. People have been asking about you doing it.
Really?
It was one guy.
Okay.
It was one guy.
Yes, I'm gonna do it. Yes, Hoopstastic.
He sent me a DM. I'm gonna send him your Twitter handle so that way he can link up with you.
Yeah, well, yes,
for
exactly.
info.
Message me.
So there's a whole March Madness bracket tournament thing.
Yeah, we got the email last week. I need to reread it so I can find out the exact details on everything. But yeah, I mean, everyone can join in, and I think isn't there like a prize or something, and not for us, but for
there's some sort of major award.
Yes, there's some sort of big thing. So yeah, get involved.
There's going to be a major award.
We got, I mean, less than 2 weeks, really.
997WTN.com. Are you going to be missing work for March Madness, or are you just going to be not paying attention while you're here?
Actually, you know what's funny is I was talking to Ken. I was like, that first Thursday or Friday of when it all begins, I was like, maybe I should take one of those days because basketball starts at 9 a.m. and it goes till 9 p.m. Oh.
Aren't you already taking off Thursday for the big cricket tournament?
For the huge cricket tournament. That's right.
Yeah.
Huge, bro.
Huge. No, what's Thursday?
SEC tournament.
Okay.
So that's before March Madness. Yeah.
So it doesn't count.
It counts. It counts. It can change
things. The way
things.
you just said that tells me it doesn't count.
If you're like a team.
But you said it counts.
It counts. Like Tennessee's in the March Madness. You know, Tennessee's going to be a 1 seed or a 2 seed. Now that could impinge a lot upon what happens in this next week in the SEC tournament. Or a team like Florida, are they in? Could they be a 10 seed? Could they be a 14 seed? Well, if they lose in that first round, GG's.
Give me your Final Four real quick.
Oh, wow. Gosh, on the spot,
yeah,
man.
Dude. You're a sports guy.
Yeah.
You host a Behind the Box Score Sportscast podcast with 104.5 The Zone.
That's true. I'm going to go Tennessee because I'm a homer, and they are very, very good. This is the best team I've ever seen us have. I'm going to go Purdue. I'm going to go Gonzaga. And I'm going to go with a hot take that Kansas makes it. Kansas hasn't had the best year. I think they get hot at tournament time.
Okay.
There you go.
I don't know what any of that meant.
Purdue has one 7'4" guy. That's why they're good.
Okay. I do know I have some sports stuff to talk about.
Ooh, yeah, I'm in.
All right. Remember when Deadspin called out that little kid for wearing blackface, but he wasn't really wearing blackface?
Yep.
And then they were going to sue them. You remember that?
Vividly.
So I'm of the opinion that Deadspin is getting out in front of their lawsuit because they have sold off and the entire staff has been fired.
Jeez, out of nowhere too, man.
Well, it's not out of nowhere. They knew they were going to have the pantsuit off of them.
Well, that's true.
So they got away from it.
That's true.
They cut bait and ran.
Everyone losing their jobs. Bang.
And just to clarify, Karan Phillips, the journalist who defamed that young man for wearing the Chiefs team colors and calling it blackface, he's currently looking for work on LinkedIn.
Wow.
He put the little profile picture up.
Wow.
Open to work. Do you know that on LinkedIn that people do that?
Yeah. Open to work.
I wouldn't hire somebody if they had the open to work thing. Would you?
I mean, not off that alone, no. Yeah.
I feel like that's just such a cheesy thing. So his name is Karan Phillips. So if you want to waste his time, you can tell him that you have a job for him and then don't do it. But the left-wing sports outlet that defamed the young Chiefs fan earlier in 2023, they have been sold off to Lineup Publishing from its owning company, Geo Media, and the entire editorial staff will be fired. Ooh, the boomerang effect. According to a report from Axios, Geo Media CEO Jim Spanfeller made the announcement to staff yesterday. And the layoffs include that loser, Karan J. Phillips, who, outed a young Chiefs fan for wearing black and red for a game and said he was wearing blackface. Do you know what it says in his bio?
What?
This Karan J. Phillips?
Yeah.
Pulitzer nominee.
Not winner. Nominee?
Nominee. What's the Ricky Bobby thing? If you're not first, you're last.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. Oh, my gosh. The Deadspin CEO said that Lineup Publishing approached him about the company and that he was not actively shopping Deadspin around. The rationale that's a lie. That has to be a lie, right? They had to have been shopping that. That doesn't happen overnight. Who would want to buy a leftist rag like Deadspin? And if you did want to buy a leftist rag like Deadspin, why would you fire the whole staff?
Yep.
You know what I mean? He says the rationale behind the decision to sell included a variety of important factors that included the buyer's editorial plans for the brand, firing everyone, competition in the sports journalism sector. Didn't Sports Illustrated just fire everyone?
Yeah, SI's
so like
in shambles.
Competition's getting light.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of big publications, but yeah.
What are the other big ones?
I mean, like The Athletic.
Isn't that behind a paywall?
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah. If you're talking free, yeah, that's true.
Like, I don't know. Do you do any of those sports things behind paywalls?
The Athletic I did for a while, and I really liked it. I just couldn't do it anymore. But no, usually
because
not.
It's behind a paywall.
Yeah, it's a paywall. It's really good work. They do great stuff over there. But yeah,
I think the behind a paywall stuff is just doom.
And that's what so much sports content is nowadays. Like if you want actual advanced statistics, like for my podcast, I'm paying for the subscriptions because for me to get the data that I have to have, like you have to pay for it. Everything.
Why?
That's a great question.
It's just math. Why don't you just do it on your own?
You're right. What am I doing?
What are you doing? Just ask AI. You're like, here's the numbers.
Dude, yeah, once ChatGPT gets to that level, that's going to be great.
Yeah.
Because it can't do current stuff yet.
Do you want to hear something that will give you nightmares about AI?
Oh, gosh. I already have some, but yeah, sure.
This is a doozy. This is a doozy. The Air Force, not starting good, right?
Yeah, I don't like that.
The Air Force is spending $6 billion on 1,000 artificial intelligence jets.
Whoa.
The Collaborative Combat Aircraft Project will feature AI-piloted planes that will be able to fly missions too dangerous for manned aircraft, such as flying 30 feet above the ground at speeds up to 600 miles per hour.
Wow.
Does this not feel Terminator-esque to you?
It's definitely strange. Very creepy.
This to me is like, once we give them access to the jets, we're signing over our certificate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gosh, that's
very
crazy.
John Connor, right? The proposed jets will aid human-piloted missions by escorting and protecting other planes, acting as scouts and carrying weapons to attack targets on the ground. Listen, they're only going to aid human-piloted missions until they decide that the humans are getting in the way. I've seen these movies.
Yes, if they go like the movies, that is for sure the way it's going to
go. Weapon developers Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, General Atomics, and Anduril Industries are all in the running to win the multi-billion-dollar contract from the Pentagon.
Let's not do Boeing. Boeing's maybe had a rough month.
Yeah. Yo, nailed that. Yeah, I don't think Boeing is going to get the contract. That's hilarious. No, I don't think. I think that they should take Boeing off the list.
Yeah, the track record recently has been terrifying.
Sus. It's a little
sus.
The track record is a little sus. And did you hear about the Boeing whistleblower?
Yes.
So this guy's been blowing the whistles. We have to honor the whistleblowers.
Yeah.
And they killed him. What? It's a crazy story. So the whistleblower, his name is John Barnett, and he was found dead from an apparent suicide. He was a quality manager at Boeing for 32 years, and he was in the process of testifying in an aviation case where he'd been given whistleblower protections. And according to his lawyer, he said John had been back and forth for quite some time getting prepared. The defense examined him for their allowed 7 hours under the rules on Thursday, and Barnett had been a quality manager at Boeing for 32 years. This is the most suspicious timing of suspicious timing, right?
Yep.
He was cross-examined all day on Friday and did not finish. They agreed to continue the next morning at 10 a.m. They kept calling his home, and his phone would go to voicemail. They kept calling his phone, and it would go to voicemail. And then they asked the hotel to go check on him, and that's when they found him dead from an alleged self-inflicted gunshot in his truck. Weird. Probably nothing to see there, right?
No, it's all good.
I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, like, people miss tires.
Yeah, man.
All the time. Forget to put bolts in. It's like nothing.
That's great. Like when that passenger door flew open or whatever. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
Who hasn't been on a plane
Yeah.
where a passenger door has flown off the handles?
Well, then they were like, yeah, some bolts were loose. And then they were like, wow, a lot of our planes had bolts loose. It's like, all right, cool. Thanks.
It's
awesome.
Really, really comforting.
Really reassuring.
Yeah. And they had something like 33 out of their, I think it was right around 90 audits failed. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it was something like that where it seemed it was almost a third or a little over a third of their audits had failed.
I'm not scared of heights or going on planes. I don't like airports, but I'm not scared of going on planes. But that does make that, like, this repetition of failure right now is not boding well for my confidence.
No. Maybe Mandis is onto something with the cruise.
Yeah. What the heck?
You know?
Get on the water.
Yeah.
That's never gone wrong before, right?
Well, there was the whole floating prison thing during COVID. And then, the Titanic.
Titanic,
That was like one time.
It's one time, man.
Do you know what the conspiracy theory is on the Titanic?
Oh, please.
You haven't heard this one?
No.
So the conspiracy theory on the Titanic was that they sunk it on purpose because there were a couple bros on the boat, and they were the only ones that could have stopped the Federal Reserve from being formed.
Wow.
So they took out that whole boat.
Rabbit holes. Got to get down them now.
Weaponized icebergs, baby. That's just what I heard. It's 11:20 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, it's Chris Hand here from my friends at Paul Winkler, Inc. You know Paul. I know Paul. Paul's been doing his show, the Investor Coaching Show, right here on WTN. He does it every Saturday from 3 to 6. He's been doing the show for over 20 years, but maybe you don't know how that show came about. He actually started the show after he spent quite a bit of time studying under an economist who went on to win a Nobel Prize. I mean, that's Paul's background. He's been in the weeds with this stuff for years, and he's an avid collector of financial planning designations. He has up to 8 now, and that's one of the reasons why my wife and I work with Paul. We heard him on WTN way before I got a show here, and when we came on board, his was the firm I wanted to work with, and it's because they hold themselves to the highest level of fiduciary status. As such, I have to tell you that I'm paid when I do these commercials. That's the law. We follow the law, and that's what happens. I get paid when the commercials airs, but I don't have to be a client. That's not part of the deal. The deal wasn't, Chris, you have to work with Paul if you're going to do the endorsements. It's like, no, I'm a client of Paul's because of one major reason. They don't do anything on commission. To me, that brings such a truthfulness and honesty to the relationship, because when some firms do things on commission, you have no idea if they're selling you a product because they make more money or if they're selling you a product because it's the right move for you. But that kind of confusion is not there with Paul. They don't do anything on commission. So anything they suggest for you, you can be sure is because they truly believe it is the right move for you. Plus, they'll educate you along the way so you never get that uneasy feeling of blind trust. They'll look at your entire financial picture, which is going to be unique to you, and then help you make decisions for you. I know. It's a revolutionary process. Paul Winkler does it every single day with his team. Set up a 15-minute phone call today. Just go to paulwinkler.com. That's paulwinkler.com.
Right now in Nashville, we have new developments in the search for a missing Missouri college student. And we'll get you some more sounds and the drama from our nation's capital, where the special counsel who investigated Joe Biden's handling of classified materials is testifying. This story and more coming up at 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Ken Weaver. It is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm reviewing the text on the Members Nutrition text line.
So good.
615-737-9986. 7333 said they pushed that iceberg right out in front of the Titanic. There's no way it was an accident. Yep. 1440 said there was another theory about the Titanic, that the coal storage compartment was actively burning and they knew it, but still continued to launch due to the high publicity and fanfare of the event. So when the iceberg touched the superheated area of the hull, it exploded. I've never heard that one. Have you heard that one?
I have not.
Given my vast knowledge of coal, it sounds real. We were also talking, I said, it makes sense why Dan went on a cruise now with all the stuff about planes. Brent reminded us that cruises are not safe. Brent texted in, on a cruise, you have pirates.
Yeah, exactly.
This is true.
It's scary.
Especially on Disney cruises. 100% chance of pirates. I will point out, on planes, you run into the risk of bane. That is a chance. Brad texted, he said, Disney tightens all their bolts. And then nobody believes that this guy at Boeing committed suicide.
Yep.
0994. I don't know how real this is because, it's just phone numbers. But let's take it anecdotally. A little anecdotal evidence. You want anecdotal evidence?
That's what we do, exactly.
People
About
love
time.
Anecdotal evidence. 0994 said, my wife's friend in Charleston, South Carolina, just had dinner with this guy a few weeks ago and said he seemed perfectly happy and normal and proud of his exposure of Boeing. Interesting. I don't know. That seems like a wild story. I don't exactly believe that he killed himself. My mind doesn't seem like that passes the smell test. Doesn't pass the smell test at all. What's that look for?
Oh no, that we're not getting calls about the Titanic.
Why are we getting calls about the Titanic?
You've struck a chord.
Struck an iceberg, perhaps?
Hey.
All right, Gary in Springfield. What do you want to say about the Titanic, Gary?
Okay, what happened was they discovered that they took a shortcut trying to speed the production of the Titanic and make this mothership of ships be the pride of the crown of England. And in that shortcut in the metallurgy, in those freezing waters, when they struck the iceberg, instead of the ship being able to withstand that strike and the pressure, the brittle level, or I forget what it was called, it was a scientific term, but that brittle texture caused the ship to fail, and the iceberg just started slicing it open like a can. It should never have happened if they had not taken this shortcut to speed up the timing for making the hole.
Hey, thanks for the info, Gary. I appreciate it.
Welcome.
So they were cutting corners. Good thing major companies of major vessels don't cut corners anymore, right? Right? We don't see that. You never see. Oh,
wait. Yeah, a tire from a plane just landed on 3 vehicles last week.
Oh, weird. They don't put bolts in.
Yeah.
If only they could have learned something from them. Some 5413 texted in. I like all these Titanic experts. Were they there? Anecdotally.
Yeah, come on.
Anecdotally, yes. 5413. Appreciate your text. 0388 said, Gary sounded a little drunky. I didn't think
I didn't think so.
I didn't think so at all.
Don't do that to Gary.
Don't besmirch Gary. Just because he has info that you don't have.
Exactly.
0388.
He also works for the Federal Reserve, so we can't really trust Gary. No, just kidding.
0388 sounds a little peanut butter and jelly. It's 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We are tracking the potential for some strong, damaging storms this week. Full forecast in 2 minutes. Right now in Nashville, the search for a missing Missouri college student is focused along the Cumberland River today. The Tennessean report search and rescue boats were launched this morning. Also, Metro Police now releasing video surveillance of 22-year-old Riley Strain. He's crossing First Avenue to Gay Street in this excerpt just before 10 p.m. Friday. That's the night he went missing after getting kicked out of Luke Bryan's bar. And right now in our nation's capital, the special counsel who investigated Joe Biden's handling of classified materials testifying before the House Judiciary Committee. Here's Stephen Portnoy.
Early on, the hearing amounted to a tit-for-tat, with squabbling over whether Joe Biden or Donald Trump is more worthy of condemnation for the mishandling of classified materials. To Democrats, this report was an exoneration. But to Republican Chairman Jim Jordan,
Joe Biden broke the law.
Robert Hur pushed back against complaints from Democrats that he made gratuitous references to Biden's memory. Hur says he had to determine whether Biden's actions were willful.
I could not make that determination without assessing the president's state of mind.
That is the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Chilly temperatures in the morning, and then it's going to be up to the 80s in the afternoon later this week. That's insane. You're going to be using your heat and your AC. What's even crazier, if you haven't gotten them serviced this time of year, you should be. It's time to get your system serviced the best way, the Busy Bee way, with Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Because if you don't, you are quite literally, my friends, waiting for a problem to pop up with either your heat or your AC. Be proactive. Keep your units in tip-top shape. Maybe you need that annual maintenance. If you do, call them. Maybe you've been kicking the can on replacing or repairing your AC from last season. Well, before you know it, you were going to need that AC all the time. And if you've been waiting to repair or replace your AC system, well, call who I trust, Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. You're not going to find a better value on replacement systems if you do need to replace it. They'll give you 12 months, no payment, and no interest with approved credit. Plus, it'll pay in so many ways to sign up for that annual maintenance on your plumbing, heating, and air systems from Busy Bee. And you can always get added rewards and savings by signing up to be a Beehive member. That'll get you front-of-the-line service. It'll get you that thorough annual maintenance on your plumbing, heating, and air systems. It'll come with no overtime charges, 24/7, and 10% off all repairs. Plus, they have convenient Saturday availability for those maintenance calls, so you'll never be left out in the cold or dealing with the heat. Busy Bee, your Rude Pro partner for satisfaction guaranteed. Call Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, 615-775-7833. That's 615-775-7833, or online at busybeehvac.com. I did it there. Did you see that?
That was nice. You got me.
Yeah, I did. I've been waiting. So sometimes when I'm doing my commercials, so Mac hits all the buttons.
It's true.
And you're a pro at it.
I appreciate it.
But I try to throw Mac off. So I'll go to give the website.
No, I push these buttons. You push my buttons. That's what we're doing here.
So I'll go to give the website, and then I'll just do like an extended pause before .com. I'll just wait for Mac to look at me and give me a look of disappointment.
It's come on, man.
And then I'll say
busybee.com.
So it's fun. It's fun that way. So it's fun. So if you're ever listening to my endorsements and you hear that long pause between the end of the website and then .com, just know I'm just crawling under Mac's skin. A little inside baseball, right? Is that inside baseball, or is that just me being a jerk?
No, I think they know that you're a jerk to me. It's all good.
That's fair. It's fair. It's baked in the cake. Hey, did you have Chris Cuomo saying Trump was going to win on your bingo card for 2024?
Whoa, wow.
Did you? Was that there?
I didn't have that one, no.
Well, it's coming.
That's extra points.
This guy's going to win, by the way. This guy's going to win. I've never seen people behind someone like this before. I've never been to rallies like that before. For anyone. Obama didn't even have rallies like that.
Obama didn't even have rallies like that, he said. Chris Cuomo. He's on a redemption arc tour. Have you seen this? He interviewed with Tucker Carlson yesterday, too. They released that on the X machine. I didn't really like the interview, to be perfectly honest. And Virginia.
The questions or?
Just the two of them together.
Gotcha.
just the whole appearance of them sitting next to each other.
I hated it.
I didn't get through much of it. And Virginia, my wife, was like, why is he doing this? Why is Tucker doing
why is
this?
Yeah.
Chris Cuomo.
Yep.
He's legitimizing him. And he's a bum. And then Virginia said, plus I don't like his brother. My wife, she holds a grudge. Don't be the governor of New York during a pandemic and do dumb things, or my wife will never let it go. I promise you that. She's really mad about that.
Hey, it's fair.
I don't blame her.
Hold a grudge.
This is why I married her. 100%.
She digs her heels in.
I love it. But yeah, Chris Cuomo, he's calling for Trump to win. I think that he's just so tired of being on the wrong side of things, like the way CNN forced him to be, that he's like, I'm just going to say whatever the opposite of what CNN is saying and be right from now on. Probably a good plan. You think that's a solid plan? That's probably what he's doing. Meanwhile, the testimony of special counsel Robert Hur is happening. He's testifying, and he's being grilled on both sides. He's in a tough position because he played both sides of the fence, right? It's like you either exonerate the president fully, that way the Democrats have your back, or you charge him criminally so the Republicans have your back. But what he did was he said, I can't charge the president because no jury would convict him because he's a well-meaning old man who has a bad memory. So he's getting grilling from both sides. Rep. Jayapal, she took her hand at Robert Hur a moment ago.
So this lengthy, expensive, and independent investigation resulted in a complete exoneration of President Joe Biden. For every document you discussed in your report, you found insufficient evidence that the president violated any laws about possession or retention of classified materials. The primary law that you analyzed for potential prosecution was part of the Espionage Act, 18 U.S.C. 793E, which criminalizes willful retention or disclosure of national defense information. Is that correct?
Congresswoman, that is one statute that we analyzed. I need to go back and make sure that I take note of a word that you used, exoneration. That is not a word that
I'm
appears
going
in
to
the
continue
report,
with
that's
my
not part of my
questions.
task as a
I'm going to
prosecutor.
continue with my questions.
The
I know
judgment
that the
received,
term.
I ultimately reached
I know
related
that
to whether
the term.
sufficient evidence existed such that the likely
You didn't-
outcome
you
would be
exonerated
a
him.
conviction.
I know
I
that
did
the
not
term
exonerate him.
willful
That word does not appear in
retention
the
has a.
report,
Mr. Hur, it's my time.
Oh, my gosh. It's getting heated. So she said, you exonerated him. He goes, no. That word does not appear in my report. Well, you exonerated him. No. And she starts talking over him because she knows where the conversation's going. She knows how this is going to play out.
Part of the Espionage Act, 18 U.S.C. 793E, which criminalizes willful retention or disclosure of national defense information. Is that correct?
Congresswoman, that is one statute that we analyzed. I need to go back and make sure that I take note of a word that you used, exoneration. That is not a word that
I'm
appears
going
in
to
the
continue
report,
with
and that's
my
not part of my
questions.
task as a
I'm going to
prosecutor.
continue with my
The
questions. I
judgment
know
I
that the
received,
term.
I ultimately reached
I
related
know
to
that the
whether
term.
sufficient evidence existed such that the likely
You didn't-
outcome
you
would
exonerated
be a
him.
conviction.
I know
I
that
did
the
not
term
exonerate him.
willful.
That is wild. You exonerated him. I did not exonerate him. Jim Jordan took his turn, too. He said, did the Biden White House attempt to have your report changed?
And did the White House get the report before the report was made public?
We did provide a draft of the report to the White House counsel's office and members of the president's personal counsel team for their review.
No, I understand. And did the White House then, once they got the report before it went public, did the White House try to weigh in with your investigation on elements of that report and, frankly, get the report changed?
They did request certain edits and changes to the draft report.
The White House requested certain edits and changes to the draft report. The White House trying to control the flow of information. Where have I heard that one before? Maybe I'm thinking about a different White House, right?
Yeah, man, you're mixing it up.
I must be mixing it up. This stuff is wild. Again, Steve Cohen was out there. Steve Cohen. I feel bad. We were kind of making fun of his looks earlier, right? His goofy glasses, his goofy hairdo. I want to point out that's fair game under the rules presented by the Democrats because he is an old white man. So you're allowed to, right? Did you check the rule book?
Fact checked. True.
If you're old and white, then you're fair game.
Freedom.
According to the left. But he's freaking out. And he says Biden, and I quote, Biden is a competent, good president.
I'm so sorry. He was serious.
I think he's serious.
To be president, you need to have values. You need to have an understanding of what values America has and needs to maintain to keep the world safe and peaceful. That's dealing with Ukraine. That's dealing with difficult people like Netanyahu in Israel to try to.
Wait, dealing with difficult people like who?
That's dealing with difficult people like Netanyahu in Israel to try to get.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Netanyahu?
Netanyahu? I didn't know.
That is not it. That is surely not it.
I think it must be Netanyahu.
That's dealing with difficult people like Netanyahu in Israel to try to get something done that's correct. That's what Joe Biden does. And understanding Social Security and Medicaid are important institutions that help seniors, not senile people. I mean, I really object to that comment. People, nobody suggests he's senile, and that's disrespectful of senior people with any kind of memory disability. Lots of seniors have memory disability, but they're not senile, and to do such was shameful. Joe Biden is a competent, good president who knows American values.
Gentleman's time has expired.
Got a little heated there. Jeez. I mean, people were getting heated left and right. Victoria Spartz, she brought up the fact that Jamie Raskin brought up communism earlier. And she said that our DOJ right now resembles a tyrannical government.
And, Mr. Raskin mentioned about, us not remembering communists. I actually grew up under communists, and I have a very good recollection what it is. And unfortunately, tyrants are on the rise, on the march, which he said. Unfortunately, they've been emboldened by, President Obama, now by President Biden too. And unfortunately, our government in Department of Justice is really now resembles, a tyrannical government. It's sad for me to see that.
That's crazy. So Rep Spartz is from Victoria Spartz. She's from Indiana, and she grew up under communism, as you can probably hear via her accent. And for her to say that our DOJ represents a tyrannical government now, that's a pretty big statement. And she said that these communists have been emboldened first under Obama, then under Biden.
And, Mr. Raskin mentioned about, us not remembering communists. I actually grew up under communists, and I have a very good recollection what it is. And unfortunately, tyrants are on the rise, on the march, which he said. Unfortunately, they've been emboldened by, President Obama, now by President Biden too. And unfortunately, our government in Department of Justice is really now resembles, a tyrannical government. It's sad for me to see that.
Yeah, and we all see that. It's 11:48 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Did not go.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Mac is itching with some breaking news. Do you want to do your breaking news sounder for this?
This is a breaking news update
Here we
on
go.
Super Talk
This is for Mac.
99.7
I'm sorry
WTN.
I'm sorry to the voice guy.
This is some sports news, believe it or not.
Here we go.
Derrick
Here we
Henry
go.
officially will never be a Tennessee Titan again. He is now signing with the Baltimore Ravens on a 2-year deal worth up to $16 million, $9 million guaranteed.
You know, this is just like, hey, Chris.
What's up? Why?
How are
Why
you?
would anybody want to leave Nashville, Tennessee to go to Baltimore, Maryland?
Okay, I have a good answer for that. But can I slam on McMurray for just a second before we get into that?
Please.
This is just like you sports people. Like never. What are you going to do if he signs back to the
I shouldn't have said it
Titans
like that.
for a day so that he can retire
And
Titan?
you're right. He probably will.
And
You're right.
get his name in the Ring of Honor or whatever they call it.
We've seen the last down. Derrick Henry will
that's
play.
not going to happen because the esteemed newsman McMurray said.
You're right. I shouldn't have said that.
And the answer to your question, he's rich. He doesn't. What does he care? I mean, he can live in the beautiful suburbs. Are there beautiful suburbs?
I don't think so.
Baltimore? I mean,
it's going to be a 2-hour commute.
Surely there's somewhere.
No.
that you can. I mean, they've
Maybe
had
like
their
a
room
houseboat way out in the harbor.
They've had their room to destroy, right? Haven't they? Isn't
Oh
that what
my
the mayor
gosh.
said?
It's been a while since Scott Pressler was there
I
cleaning
mean,
the place up.
Baltimore's a. I mean, if you asked me, hey Murphy, I'm going to give you, X amount of dollars, and you have to go live in Baltimore or Haiti. I mean, that's a fair fight.
That's a fair fight.
Hey, Baltimore's probably going to win the fight, just to be completely honest, but
I don't know.
It's a fair fight, though.
Your dollar would go further in Haiti.
That's what that was exactly what I was thinking. Is I could stretch my money much further. I would be the king of the island.
Probably less regulation. You'd probably have to pull less permits to build a moat.
Right, exactly. And I mean, cheap labor. I'm just saying it's a fair fight. We were talking right before we came back on the air. Can I tell the story?
Yeah, so I said, well, Baltimore, why? And I said, well, I mean, in the NFL, and you're in Baltimore, you can kill a guy and get away with it.
Just kill a fellow, whatever.
Many such cases.
So I had a brief stint on a sports radio station. They had one of their midday guys had left, and they were filling in people, and I offered my services, and so I filled in, and this was right before the Super Bowl, where they were honoring Ray Lewis or something or another.
What market were you in?
I was in Birmingham,
okay.
Alabama. And I just went on the sports station, and I said, I just got a question for everybody that's honoring Ray, and I know he says he's turned his life to Jesus. If he's really turned his life to Jesus, where's the suit? I just want to know where the suit is. I want to know where his white suit is. That's all I want to know. If you are really a man of God, just tell us where the white suit is, and we'll move on. We'll move on from the fact that you obviously got away, at least with accessory to murder. And apparently sports people don't like those types of questions.
Too hot of a take. I think this is why Mac doesn't invite me on his podcast. I think it's stories like that.
Bingo.
What he's worried about.
Beyond the bench with Mac Morris. Is that right?
Stop. Beyond the box score.
It's behind the stadium.
You guys.
Is it beyond? I thought it was behind.
Well, now you're messing me up. It's behind the box score on Spotify and Apple, wherever you hear podcasts.
My job is done here. I'm leaving.
Box score on the bench with Mac Morey.
Titans don't play the Ravens this year. There you go.
That's unfortunate.
So they won't see Henry.
That's unfortunate. Well, good for him. I wish him the best. I wish him the best in his house hunt. I'm sure it's going to be difficult up there in Baltimore. By the way, apparently we have people that have been elected into positions of political power in the state of Tennessee that don't know that we are allowed to secure our southern borders. And I have the audio for you coming up in the 12 o'clock hour. Yeah.
Are we talking state level, federal level?
State level.
Ooh.
State level. Good stuff. And then
Air them out.
I don't know if I've not listened. Have you talked about this Megyn Kelly destruction?
I have not. I've not talked about Megyn Kelly.
Megyn Kelly absolutely destroyed George Stephanopoulos, and I'm going to play a little bit of that audio, so that should be fun.
Perfect. We spent a lot of time making fun of Steve Cohen because
oh my goodness,
when you play by the Democrats' rules, he's old and he's white. He's fair game.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It's Super Talk.